The Honorable Louis Farrakhan coming to Memphis, Tennessee for the all-men's meeting.
I think that is fantastic. I'm a Christian minister, but I believe that truth is truth. The man has the truth. He's gifted of God to do what he's doing, and I'm going to follow him. I believe in what the brother's doing. Thank you.
I'm Irv Goodman. I'm an evangelist, and I'm very good friends with Carlton Leak, who's on my left, and I'm here to see what Louis has to say.
I think it's great. Every young man needs to hear what he has to say, because he can teach a lot of men. They think they know how to be a man, but he can show them how to really be one. I think that it's great. We needed this long time ago.
I think it's great, and Memphis sure need a man like Minister Farrakhan. We know he's for black people. He's a universal man, and we just love him. And we know that the men that are here today were sent by God, whether they accept Islam or not. We know that our black men need to hear what Minister Farrakhan has to say today.
It's very important for all of us as men to understand what our brother has to say that affects us. Not what someone else has to say, but what the minister has to say that affect black people. This is important for us.
I think it's great that he's coming to speak to everybody. I've listened to him once on television, and I kind of liked what he said, and I want to see him personally.
I feel good about it. You know, I feel it's going to be a positive meeting. And it's something the black men need here in Memphis. And we got to come together because we got too much violence on the street. And some brothers got to step up to show that they got willing to lead by example.
I love it. It's something that we really needed here. I love the idea because I love the black men in America, especially in Memphis. And I'm hoping my son gets a chance to really hear him and learn something. I think it's great. It's wonderful.
Oh, I think it's great. Anytime you can do something positive that's going to help our black men, I mean, it's great. And I'm sure that the message will be fruitful, and I hope that they'll take heed to it. We need it right about now.
There's no other way for the black man. It's the only way out. I feel that he's done a good thing in inspiring all of our black men to keep our communities together. It's great.
Thank you very much.
And I'm all for it.
Thank you.
And getting all these black men up in here, just turning it out.
A warm round of applause. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Stand up, brother, show the world that you support Minister Farrakhan and that you love Minister Farrakhan. Here he is, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom all praise is due, the Lord of the worlds, Allah, the revealer of truth, the sender of prophets. We thank him for Moses and the Torah. We thank him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank him for Muhammad and the Quran. If I lived to be 1,000, I could never thank him enough for his intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who came among us and found one worthy to give a weighty word that would deliver us from the prison of ignorance. I thank him for raising up in our midst the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man who taught me what I know, the man who gave me the example of the man I hope to become, the messenger of Allah, the Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. To Brother Minister Anthony Muhammad, and to all of the believers of Mosque number 55, words are inadequate to express my thanks, gratitude to you for your hard work in this great city of Memphis to bring our black brothers together that we may talk about problems that affect us. Brothers, I don't know whether this has ever been done before, that black men have been called to sit together to discuss ourselves and what affects us as men. The black man in America is in trouble. We are endangered species. The whole of America and the world seems set against the rise of black men into the power that God intended for all of us. We have become our own worst enemies. Instead of our being the head of our families, the leaders of our community, and giving the gifts that God has given us back to the world, we have become destructive, self-haters, divided, and now destroyers of our own self and kind. The enemy used to do this himself, but now he doesn't have to do it. He has put his spirit in us, and we now have become the #1 killers, beaters, rapers, robbers, shooters, and destroyers of self. This has to stop. And so, brothers, I'm before you tonight as your brother and a fellow sufferer with you. But I'm hurting to see us going down like this. And you are hurting seeing us go down like this. So the Quran teaches God will never change the condition of a people until they change themselves. God will never change the condition of a people until there's a change in their own hearts. So tonight, I've come before you, my brothers, hopefully to bring a word of life to you that will encourage you to make a change. But how can you change when it is light that brings change? Unless there's a presence of light or a bearer of light, there can be no change. We live on a planet, a magnificent planet, 7,926 miles in diameter, 24,896 miles in circumference, 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,685,000 square miles of water, with a weight of 6 sectillion tons. But this planet is a part of a family of planets, the family of the sun. but the son exercises control and discipline over every member of its family. All the family of the sun has different colors. The earth shows up blue. There's a red planet. There are planets that are gaseous. There are planets that have different forms of life and water, intelligence. But one sun controls it all. The planet on which we live makes 4 dips in and out by the rotation of the planet on its axis as it revolves around the sun. But what causes the changes? The change doesn't come in a vacuum. It is the power in the light of the sun striking the earth at her equator, causing the earth to spin. You are not making change toward good because light is not present in your life. The people that walk in darkness must see a great light. Every time somebody comes bearing light to black people, the enemy finds a way to snuff out that leader, either by our hands or by some crooked machinations of government, bringing our leaders before their courts of law, which is nothing more than a hanging tree for decent men. Marcus Garvey was hung in the courts of America, but only later could we find out that Marcus Garvey was a good man. But he was already gone, his movement broken, his philosophy upset and overturned. Today, young people want to know, who is Garvey? Who is Du Bois? And what did America do to him? Who is Paul Robeson? And what did America do to him? Who is Adam Clayton Powell Jr.? And what did America do to him? Who is Martin Luther King Jr.? And what did America do to him? Who is Malcolm X? And what did America do to him? And who is Elijah Muhammad? And what did America do to him? And who is Louis Farrakhan? And what is America planning to do to me? Anybody that can bring about change in your life is evil spoken of, falsely accused, maligned, so that they will keep you away from your own brother, who might breathe on you the breath of life and cause you to come up the great men that you are destined to be. You are not no little Rudy Poop people. You are a great nation. Your greatness is already written of. Your destiny is already foretold in the Bible and in the Quran. But they don't want you to know who you are. Because if you know who you are, then your biggest challenge is to be yourself. And so tonight, my brothers, I'm not here to titillate your emotions, to rile you up for something silly. I want to talk to you in a way that I hope will change the condition of the heart. Why the heart? Not this physical instrument that pumps the life fluid through the veins, but the heart that is this great human pump, pumping blood through 60,000 miles of circuitry called veins. This is not the real pump. The real pump is the core of a man's mind. the seat of a man's emotion, that which brings up thought. Thought is the real power of the human being. So Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if somebody can make you think you're nothing, then you will act like you think. If somebody will make you think you never were anything, can't do anything, then your own thought pattern is what is crippling you. So somebody got to come and change the way you think. And when your thoughts change, that's bringing about a change in the heart. And just like the heart is the seat of your emotions, and this physical heart is covered. Nobody can see the heart. Only God knows what's in the heart of a man. And only God knows what's at the seat of your thinking. So to change you from the root of your being is to make a change indeed. And that can't come except somebody comes to bring you light, to bring you knowledge. So Paul in the scripture says, how can they believe on him in whom they have not heard? And how can they hear except they have a preacher? And how can they have a preacher except he be sent? Well, you know, Lemoyne Owen College, as great as Lemoyne Owen is, they ain't gonna send no preacher. Howard University, as great as it is, Tuskegee, as great as it is, it can't send you. Because all of these colleges and universities were organized by the enemy to train you into a way of thinking that would not benefit yourself, but benefit them. As a result of that, you come out of all of these colleges and universities, and with all of our degrees, we are not building factories to employ ourselves. We're not industrious to build that which would make us honored and respected in the world. And we are not even in our own communities creating that which is necessary to the advancement of our people. We're not giving goods and services to our own people. So even though we have a purchasing power of $400 billion a year, I want you to hear this. A purchasing power of $400 billion, not million, billion dollars a year. You are poor, ragged, hungry, naked, and out of doors with all that kind of money because it comes in your hand and goes right out. And therefore, other members of other races and communities see our ignorant condition. And instead of teaching us, they exploit our ignorance to build their communities at our expense. And so anybody that will bring a change is considered dangerous. Farrakhan is considered dangerous, not because I'm really a dangerous man. I'm considered dangerous because they don't control me. All praise is due to Allah. I'm considered dangerous, brothers, because they know that if I know the truth, I'm not afraid to tell it. I'm considered dangerous, brothers, because I'm not a whore. They can't buy me. I'm considered dangerous, brothers, because corporations don't give me money. Foundations don't give me money. The Arab world don't give me money. I'm considered dangerous because nobody got control but God. That means I'm a free man, and probably the freest black man that you have seen in your life. And I want you to be as free as I am, to live your life like God intended for you to live it, to be the kind of man that God intended for you to be, but not the chump, the nigger, the negro, the colored boy, the shine, the ham bone, always clowning and making yourself a fool so that other people can laugh at you. So, brothers, if knowledge will make a change, let's get right to the point. Let's go to work. Who are you? Who are you? You mighty, mighty and powerful black man. Who are you? Who are you? Which one of you thinks you're nothing? That's the brother I want to talk to. Which one of you feels that you are impotent, you have no power, that you need a gun in your hand in order to be a man? God didn't say, let us make a man and put a 9mm in his hand and give him power with a 9mm or AK-47. God said, let us make man. He didn't say, let us make niggers. Let us make some coons. Let us make some shines. Let us make some servant of the enemy. Let us make man. Not make him in the image of white people. Let me make man in my own image and in my own likeness. Who are you? See, if you know who you are, then the challenge is, come on, man, and be yourself. I want to go to the Holy Quran, the book of guidance given by Allah to Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah 1400 years ago. A great book that is not on your bestsellers list. A great book that every brother should have in his home. A great book that every morning when you get up, it's like talking to God. That's right, that's right. If you want to have a talk with God, you read the Quran. Well, you say, well, Farrakhan, there must be something to talk to God. Go ahead, Minister. Go ahead. Yeah. Wouldn't you brag if you could talk tomorrow to the person that you admire most? Yeah, I called him up this morning. Yeah. He was feeling pretty good. Yeah. He told me such and so. Go ahead, Minister. Well, imagine, brother, if every day you could have a talk with the Supreme Being. And what kind of man would you be if you could talk to the Supreme Being 5 times a day? Go ahead, Minister. Teach, Minister. If the Supreme Being could be your teacher, what kind of man would the Supreme Being make of you? Yeah, yeah. See, I mean, you go to school, they give you a book. Go ahead, Minister. Written by some professor. Yeah. Who is not absolute in his knowledge of what he's asking you to study. Teach, teach. If you got a big book this thick, You could melt it down, maybe truth in it is this much. But here's a book, not one word of it is weak. Every word of it is power. You want to know where we get our strength? Let me read to you. Who are you? That's the question we're asking. Allah says in the Quran, O people, keep your duty to your Lord. Your first duty, not to mother, not to father, not to teacher, not to brother. Your first duty is to him who created you. And if you don't keep your duty to him who created you, then every other duty that you keep is suspect. Oh, people, keep your duty, keep your obligation to your Lord. Clinton ain't my Lord. He couldn't send me to Haiti. He couldn't send me to Iraq. He couldn't send me to Vietnam. He ain't my Lord. I don't owe him a damn thing. What do you owe him? He didn't create you. He didn't form you in your mother's wombs. He didn't bring you forth at the appointed time. He didn't put milk in your mother's breast for you.
That's right. Go ahead, minister.
He didn't create the cattle. He didn't create the cornstalk, the lemon tree, the orange tree, the chicken that we eat, the lamb that we eat, the air that we breathe. Everything above us, beneath us, and around us is truth. We are birthed into the mind of God. I want you to hear what I'm saying. You are birthed from the darkness of your mother's womb into the mind of God, and the mind of God is his creation. The Quran says there are creatures that you know, and there are creatures that you don't know. The Quran says that everything that God created is a word. And then it says, if the seas with 7 more seas added to them were as ink, and all the trees were as pens, you could never exhaust the words of God. So if you're birthed into God's own mind, then your duty is to him. He didn't create you to be a basketball star. That's good. But what do you look like bouncing a ball for your whole life? We can create dogs to do that. I saw a dog do it with his nose and didn't miss one time. They should sign the dog up for the NBA.
That's right.
He didn't create you to run no ball across some line. That's okay. It makes a living. You do it well. I'm not arguing about your gifts. But that's not what you're here for. You running down a field. I love to watch it myself. I ain't lying. But you going 4-3, you run the 40. Big tank-like brother. And you coming across the middle, and somebody throwing a pass and somebody else is running at you over 200 pounds, they run 4-3. And they trying to hit you. What kind of sport is that? Somebody crashing into you. That's like two fools playing chicken on the highway, 60 miles an hour. And then when you see the crash, whoa, look at that hit. That's a fool, brother. And you gotta live, you got money, your knees broke. You walk. I love to watch boxing, but that's not your duty. I mean, you good, man. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, it looks real sweet. I love to see the brothers do that. But can you imagine a man in a ring? He's in the gym hitting a bag, but soon it's gonna be somebody else. Boom. And he's learning how to throw it, you know, turn it, throw it. Then when you hit a man, put your shoulder and your hip in it. You break him up on the inside, hit him in his liver, pow, hit him in the kidney, boom. And we pay, man, this is great, to watch some dude get broke up. And after a while you see him, yeah, that's a great fighter. What did he hit me with? You got more obligation to pigskin. You give more time to a ball. You give more time to sex. You give more time to drugs and fun and foolishness. But what is your duty, your obligation to your Creator? Look at this now. Keep your duty to your Lord, who created you from a single being and created its mate of the same kind, and spread from these two many men and women. Stop right there. If God created all of us from a single being, who is the single being that he created us from? And if he created our mate of the same essence, who is the essence that our mate is created from? And from these two, he spread many men and women. Well, if we can go back to the root, then we find out what the branches came from, or where the fruit came from. But we're going now to the root. He created you and me from a single being, a single essence. And the Quran says, Kul huwa Allahu ahad. Say he, Allah is one, he's singular. He created you from himself. No, I want you to pay attention. He created you from a single essence. That single essence is himself. And if he created you from him, then who are you? I'll prove my case in a minute. And he created our mate from the same essence. Here's a female and a male coming right up out of God. So, brothers, if our root is not our mama or our dad, but our root is God, then you and you
am your brother. And you are mine, not because we got the same mama or the same daddy, but I'm your brother and you are mine because we come from the same essence, which is God. So the brotherhood can never be a brotherhood without God at its root. You can't come, you can come together in a gang, that's cool. You can come together as Omega, as Kappa, as Alpha, that's cool. You can come together as Mason or Shriner, that's cool. You can come together as Baptist or Methodist or AME or CME, but look, man, if God ain't at the root of it, you can never have a real, true brotherhood. And when you got God at the root, and I know and am connected to God, and you know and are connected to God, then the two of us connect, man. That ain't no gang. That's the deepest brotherhood you could find, because my love for God is reflected in my love for you. Look, brothers, I know I love God. I got a right to love God. But I also have a right to love you, because you come from the same God that I come from. And if I say I love God whom I have never seen, how could I hate you whom I see every day? You are flesh of my flesh, and I am flesh of your flesh. You are blood of my blood, and I am blood of your blood. And if you look at the brother sitting next to you and around you and over there, everywhere you look, you're looking at yourself. So if you and I are brothers, and I'm talking about the broadest possibility, then how could I do harm to you and not feel the effect? It's like destroying myself if I do something against you. Look at that precious woman who is your mother. She gave birth to you and me. We came through her. Well, that's heavy, man. And look at the girl you left to come here tonight so that we men could meet. How could you go back and call her a bitch? A bitch is a female dog. But God said he created you from a single essence and created your mate of the same essence. If you came from him and she came from him, you disrespect God when you call a woman a bitch. And you disrespect yourself, because if she's a bitch and she produced you, then you are the son of a bitch. Is that right? How could you be the son of a bitch and have any connection to God? You can't be a Christian and call a woman a bitch. That's your mother. How can you call a woman a bitch and be connected to Jesus, whose mother was a woman? You say these things because you hear your enemy say these things. And since you were reared by your enemy without respect for yourself or your woman or God, you use their expression. Dog, spelled backwards, is God. God, turned backwards, is a dog. The Quran says that they have become like the dog. The dog lolls out his tongue. You see that tongue hanging? The Bible said, behold, you are like a dog that has returned to the vomit. Have you ever watched a dog puke up and then go back and lick it up, then lick you in your face? How could a dog be man's best friend? See, white folks, that's your saying. A dog may be your best friend, but I'll be damned if a dog is my best friend. The best friend that any man would ever have is God, the Creator. If he's your friend, then who can be your enemy? But today, white folk got more respect for dogs than they have for you. They sit the dog at the table with them, and you can't even get in the front door. I see the dog in the car with the driver. They put the window down to pay the toll. I don't know who's paying it, the dog or the driver. The dog got his head out the window, the master got his head out the window. And you see them looking at each other like they both understand. But get the niggers out of town and let the dogs come in. Put the niggers over there, but bring the dogs on. I don't want to hear a white man call your woman a bitch. And I heard Downey, Martin Downey, on television have a white girl there. She was kind of low life, but he called her a bitch on television. I said, this is a disgusting man. That's right, that's right. That's right. And that's what y'all like. And the poor, silly black people following them. Yes, in the 60s, the sisters used to call themselves the Supremes. Right. Supreme mean the best, the pinnacle, the highest. Now we not the Supremes, we bitches with problems. Whores with attitudes. Who made you a bitch? Who made you a whore? The same old demon that turns you inside out turns your woman upside down. Yeah, but we're going to get it right side up today with the help of Allah. Now, listen. Everybody all right? If you are created from God, the Quran says or teaches that the nature of God is the nature in which he created you. Ooh, wait a minute now. The Quran teaches, set your face for religion being upright, the nature made by Allah in which he has created man. He created you in his nature, and he created you to be upright. That's your nature. You can't help it. You could be the biggest thug on the block. And some of us are. Yeah. But deep down inside, you respect somebody who's trying to be upright. You could sell all the drugs you want to sell. You know instinctively, I shouldn't do this. But hell, I'm going to make a living. I got to do what I got to do. I know I'm wrong. You ain't got to tell me I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. But I got to do what I got to do, what I got to do, what I got to do. But when somebody shows you a better way, you may not choose it right away, but deep down inside, you know, I'm doing this, but I ain't got long to stay here. Why? Because the worst of you is really the best of you. The worst one in here tonight is the best one.
Yeah, that's right.
He just needs a change of direction. You all say you love Malcolm. You didn't love Malcolm Little. Malcolm Little was a gangster. Malcolm Little was a hustler. Malcolm Little was a dope user and a dope seller. He was bad. But all he needed was somebody to help him make a change. And when he made that change, as low down as he went is as high up as he's still going. Why, brother? He's a sign of you. The brothers in prison, they're not bad. Somebody got to reach them. The brothers in the gang who are drive-by shooting, they're not bad. Somebody got to reach them. Somebody got to help the brother to understand what he's doing. How can they know except they have a preacher? Look, brothers, your nature is what the Quran calls Islam. Now, to my Christian brothers, don't get excited. Don't get excited. Islam is an Arabic word. It only means submission to the will of God. That's your nature. You were created, look at this, just like he created everything. He created everything to submit to a law. The sun out there, that sun does not disobey the law under which it was created one fraction of a second. The earth that we're spinning on, brother, it's been spinning in this orbit for over 66 trillion years. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't know nothing about billions or trillions till I heard a wise man teach. Whatever you eat to sustain your life, you're eating the fruit of obedience. Look at the orange. Squeeze the juice in your parched throat. Won't it feel good? But that orange grew in accord with law and obeyed that law. And so when you eat it, you're eating truth in obedience to God to sustain your life. And you must not live your life in rebellion to God when everything that keeps your life going is in submission to God. And that's why Jesus said And that's why Jesus said, not my will be done. Not mine. Your will be done. Why, Jesus? Because I know that your will is bigger than mine. And if I surrender my will to do your will, I grow in uprightness, then I grow into God. Look, the Quran says that the wicked reject a meeting with God. Let's stop there. How you gonna meet God? Hey, how you doing, God? What's happening? Damn, you sure live in a nice place, God. That's not the way it's gonna go down. I'm very pleased to meet you. That's not what it's all about. The meeting with God is talking about a journey's apex. That you are created from sperm mixed with ovum, a microscopic dot cast into a dark, hostile environment to meet with the egg of the female to germinate the first cell of life, a tiny cell so small you could put it on the head of a pin and it would have much room to move around. That's how you started. But from that microscopic dot, there was intelligence there.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And you formed that which would allow that first cell of life to grip onto the walls of the uterus, and you found on the walls of the uterus a firm resting place. So that the old organism was trying to get rid of this thing because it was a new life trying to attach itself to a life that had been here. And the first step is rejection, but it held on tight in a firm resting place. And it grew to become a clot, then an embryo, then a fetus in a bag of waters. And then at the proper time, it came forth as a child, you, me, and we grew. But we were supposed to grow from the proper spiritual and intellectual feeding, that we not only grow to the fullness of our potential in physical growth, but our minds grow and expand to the fullest possibility of human and divine growth. So that when we reach a position in life where we no longer struggle against the force of our own nature that is of the flesh, but we have mastered the flesh. We have put everything of the flesh under the control of a spiritually and morally developed self. Then you become a soul that is at rest, well-pleasing to thy Lord and well-pleased. Then you have made a meeting with God. You become one with God. Then you become a reflection of God. This is the duty of every human being. Not to become the greatest basketball player, but a freak. Not to become the greatest football player, but a chaser after strange women. Not to become a great preacher, but a cheap entertainer in the name of religion. not to become a scholar with a PhD degree and a homosexual. Did I say something wrong? You're wise, but you don't know what your sex is. You got a degree, but you don't know who you are. Switching down the street. You love men and walk by a woman. The Quran said, what is this? Coming to a man with lust in your heart as you should feel toward a woman. What is this? God calls it an abomination that a man would want to fall down with another man and smooch and fall in love and get married. What the hell is that? And then these writers are going to call me homophobic. Shut your damn mouth. Was Jesus homophobic? Was Moses homophobic? Was Prophet Muhammad homophobic? Homosexuality has never been accepted by God, and it never will be accepted by God, and no faggot will ever enter the kingdom of God. Do you hate homosexuals? No, they are my brothers. I love them. But God don't love their way. And he don't love your and my way. When we destroy our brother's home by going after our brother's wives. God don't love your way. If I try to rear my daughter right, and you gonna take off my daughter and call me brother. God don't love your way. If you so crazy to kill, did you kill your own flesh and blood and laugh as the blood oozes from your brother's body and he gasps his last breath out? And what did you kill him for? He had on the wrong color hat or the wrong color shirt. He had it on the wrong way, his hat or his cap. He gave the wrong gang signal. And you killed him? How you think God feels about you? When the most precious of all gifts is life itself, and you snuff it out for nothing. A meeting with God. Man, I want to be like that, brothers. I really would like to grow so much in truth and in the nature of obedience that I become one with God.
And that's what makes Jesus so special in the Bible and in the Quran. He's called Messiah. That is no light term. Messiah is a big word. It means the anointed of God, anointed to do what? The Quran says he opens the eyes of the blind by God's permission. He makes the deaf hear and the dumb speak by God's permission. He raises the dead to life by God's permission. He takes clay and he forms it into a bird and then breathes into it and it becomes a bird by God's permission. Yet he's a man born of a woman. He grew up like you growing up, like I'm growing up. He's a man. He's a human being. But he does things that only God should be able to do because he has become one with God. And so God can reflect himself through the person and personality and character of a man. That's who you are. Jesus ain't no mythical dude that floated out of the sky. He was born of a woman. He grew up like you. That's right. He didn't tell you worship him. Go ahead, Minister. Go ahead. He knew he wasn't to be worshiped. Listen up. Reverend, that's why you don't have no power. You worshiping Jesus instead of worshiping the Father who gave you Jesus. Listen. While I'm on that, I got to correct some things. You get in trouble, you say, oh, Jesus. Wrong. No answer. You say, did you call on Jesus? Hold it, baby. Hold it. Jesus didn't tell you that. Let me quote some scripture for you. In the book of John, Jesus talking, or John talking, he said, God is a spirit. And those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, for such the Father seeketh. Jesus ain't seeking nobody to worship him. When the disciples said, good master, he said, hold up. Ain't none good but the Father. He said, whatever I hear from the Father, that I speak. Whatever the Father bids me to do, that I do. He was in complete and perfect obedience, submission to God. And when they put him on the cross, according to the Bible, he didn't say, oh, well, I guess I'll come on down. He said, my God. He wasn't calling on himself. My God. Then he said, when they asked him, Master, teach us how to pray. He said, pray on this wise. Listen. Listen to me now. He said, pray on this wise. Our Father. Let's stop right there.
See, if God is his father and made him a giant, then he said, look, call on him that I call on. He said, our father. How could you have God as a father and be a bastard? You say, that little bastard over there, wait a minute. You can't be a Christian and be a bastard at the same time if God is your father. The language just don't fit. Our Father, which art in heaven. Look at the words. Hallowed be my name. Who name? Thy name. My kingdom come? Thy kingdom come. My will be done? Thy will be done. Look at him. He said, whatsoever you ask of the Father in my name. That's the way you pray. That's the way. You don't call on Jesus. You call on him whom Jesus called on, but then ask what you want in the name of that servant that brought you to God. A Muslim can pray directly to Allah. And you can too. But a Muslim is not a good Muslim who doesn't recite the name of the prophet. That's right, that's right. That brought him the knowledge of Allah. So when the Muslim goes to pray, you hear the mueddin call out, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is great. God is great. And you hear the Muslims say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness there is no God but Allah. You don't stop there. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. And then we are invited to prayer. And we're invited to success. We're invited to prayer. Hayya ala salat. Come to prayer. Hayya ala falah. Come to success. But success don't mean just come to success. It means come to that which cultivates. The fellahin are the farmers. Come to that which causes you to grow into God. Where you become a reflection of the God that you serve. So I can give you the name Muhammad, then you will be doing works worthy of praise. I can give you the name Sharif, the name Ali, the name Abdullah. Because you are a reflection of the attributes of God. Teach. But look at what we have been made into. God said, let us make man. And the slave master said, let's make him a nigger. Let's make him a stud horse. Let's make him an animal. Let's make him a viper. Why is the gun so important to you, brothers? That gun means a lot to you, don't it? Tell the truth, brothers. A lot of brothers, man, when they look at that gun, and you know there was a time when they didn't allow black folk to have guns. That's right. You didn't go to a gun shop. The gun shop came to you. Somebody out of the back of their trunk selling you 9mm, AK-47s, street sweepers. And when you put it in your hand, what kind of feeling you get? Oh, power. You don't put a gun in a fool's hand and he don't want to try it out. He can't go to no range and learn to shoot. So how you gonna shoot? Say, well, just drive by. There's some niggas over there in that crowd. See if you can pop one, pop two, pop three. Pop a cap in that nigga's ass. So you drive by, pop, 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 pop. Speed off. I got him. I got him. God damn, did you see the way he fell? Look at you, brothers. You're going crazy. You need power. But Mao Zedong said power grows out of the barrel of a gun. If Mao was here, I'd tell him, brother, sit down a minute.
Right.
I got to help you to understand something.
Right.
No. In the Genesis, God said, let us make man.
Right.
And let us give them power and dominion over the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that crawls upon the earth. You can't control the creeping thing that crawls with a gun. Try it sometime. All right, Ant. Move back. Ant, keep coming. A bee come up. Okay, bee. Get off that flower. I'll blow your brains out. The bee keep. And if you get crazy around the nest, that gun ain't gonna help you. Them bees will tear your behind up. The Holy Quran says of what you worship other than Allah. Hey, can you imagine Clinton calling us? Greetings. There's trouble in Haiti. They don't have democracy down there. I want you boys to go down and kick those tyrants out and set a president up that was duly elected by the Haitian people. Come on, boys. And here you come. The commander-in-chief has called. The Quran says, if a gnat took a morsel of bread from off that man's table, he doesn't have the power to call the gnat back. Bring back my morsel of bread. Weak is the invoker, and weak is the invoked. How dare you answer the call of somebody that's unworthy to call you, and you won't answer the call of him who created you. Here you are, a man training you to kill. It's all right to kill for him, but it's not all right to kill in pursuit of your own liberation. He loves passive niggas. He smack you on one cheek, you better give him the other. But you gotta be a stone killer for him. Brothers, power is in knowledge. And it is only when you know that the power of the gun becomes insignificant. You will never get liberation with a gun. You will get change with a gun, but not liberation. You have revolutions all over the earth, and you bring change of government,
but you put one government out, put one government in, you haven't really satisfied the people. The only thing that brings true change is knowledge that overthrows the government of your mind and replaces it with the government of God. And when that government of God is called kingdom, see, king, K-I-N-G-D-O-M, kingdom. When the king is in the dome, when the king is at the root of the dome, not the kingdom of hell, but the kingdom of God. When God is king and he's sitting on the throne in the dome, then the kingdom of God is within you. And then from your own mind, you begin to change the realities around you. And so, my brothers, this world has deprived you of power. That's right. They don't want no black man to have power. And you can't be a man without power. Your nature is to have power, and your nature is to rule. And you can't rule anybody until you rule yourself. And look, brother, children can't rule themselves. And that's why you say, hey man, come on over to my crib. What's a crib? What's a crib? It's slang, isn't it? For your house. But if your house is a crib, and a crib is a container for babies, with little playthings in the crib that fascinate a baby. I got my hi-fi. I got my CD player. I can quote all the raps. I'm down, man. You're just a baby. Playing games with life. And as long as white folk now got you playing cops and robbers with real guns, and you don't know that this is a very serious, deadly thing in your hand. But in the hand of a fool, he kills his babies, he kills his brother, then you put drugs on top of the gun, and he's stoned out of his mind. He got a liquor store on every corner for you, brother, for you. And every Friday night or in through the week, you got to have your bottle. And who's selling you the drugs? Who's selling you the alcohol? Very few black people. This is why I say to my Muslim brothers who are Arabs, look, brothers, this is wrong, man. You know that Allah taught you as a Muslim not even to touch the swine. That's right. And if you see these blacks in a savage condition, remember, Arab, what was your condition before the prophet came to you? And if God sent a prophet to you to clean you up from drunkenness and make you a respecter of your women and united you into tribes and into a nation, then why should you come to America and feed black people swine and alcohol and mock our condition and sleep with our senseless woman and laugh at us and take money back into your community, and then don't even teach us nothing of what the prophet taught you? Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something. Damn it. Look here, Muslims. Ain't nobody came after you. Don't you ever forget that.
That's right. Nobody.
Do you think that Prophet Muhammad would be pleased when your mission is to spread the Quran to the ends of the earth? Who brought the Quran to us? You didn't bring us no damn book. You didn't do a damn thing for us. You walked over us. You walked by us. You never invited us to your mosque. Damn self-righteous hypocrite. Give me that. But when Elijah Muhammad began talking to us, all of a sudden you become interested because he ain't teaching us the right Islam. What is the right Islam? To be like you? What is the right Islam? You the real Muslims. But President Clinton can butts your button. And your kings and your rulers bow down like little sissies. What is the real Islam? When our Muslim brothers who are white in Bosnia, women being raped, Muslim children being killed, and the Muslim world stands by like a group of faggots because the United Nations said you can't give weapons to your own brother to fight to defend his own land. You gonna tell me what a real Muslim is? What is a real Muslim? One who makes salat? A damn devil could bow down, jackass. Devils can prostrate. Devils can make sajda. That don't mean you're a Muslim because you pray like one. A Muslim is what a Muslim does. Your whole life should be devoted in service to Allah. And don't tell me it's just prayer and fasting during the month of Ramadan and paying a little jive zakat. God damn it, it's going out, getting the people in the mud and freeing the slave and lifting your people. And if you're not doing that, don't talk to me about what a true Muslim is. You're nothing but a damn hypocrite. Farrakhan don't have the right Islam. Farrakhan is a deceiver. Farrakhan's teaching is like Kool-Aid laced with cyanide. You just a damn envious nigger. You can't stand to see crowds come out to hear Farrakhan while you can draw flies if you were manure. You upset because God has put it in the hearts of black people to love Farrakhan. They don't want your kind of Islam. They don't want no damn religion that make a faggot out of them. They don't want a religion that's going to make them into an Arab. I ain't no Arab. God damn it, and don't try to make me one. I'm a black man. Excuse me. But ain't nothing in here but men. And we having a man's talk tonight. You gonna tell me I accepted an Arab religion? No, I didn't. I accepted the nature in which I'm created. Before there was a man named Muhammad. Before there was a man named Abraham, I was. I'm a black man. I'm the original man. I was in the beginning. So look, they ain't gonna give you no power. Power is something that comes from God, and you accepting knowledge. When you accept knowledge and learn to love who God made you, with your kinky hair and your black face and your thick lips and your broad nose, don't try to be made in the image of nobody else. God knew what he was doing. The Quran said the first man was called Adam. The Quran says that Allah created him out of black mud and fashioned him into shape. Now go and tell me I'm a racist.
Preach it. Preach it, minister.
The whole world looks down on black people, and you look down on yourself. You're so glad to accept a religion that makes you strange, so you don't have to be a nigger no more. So you're going to act like you somebody else with an affected accent. Oh, assalamu alaikum, alhamdulillah. Why the hell don't you be yourself? You can speak Arabic. You don't have to have an affected speech because you study the Quran. Quran ain't trying to make you an Arab. They're trying to make you a righteous man and a righteous woman. You don't use it like no damn cover. You put it on and you take it off and hang it up in your closet. You're a Muslim from early morning till you lay down in your bed, and you sleep a Muslim, and you wake up a Muslim, and you die a Muslim because you live the life of a Muslim. All these teachers from all over the world coming to make you into them. I see you dressing like a Pakistani. They're good Muslims, but you ain't Pakistani.
That's right, brother. That's right.
You got good Muslims who are Arabs, but you're not an Arab. You don't have to dress in their national dress to be a Muslim.
Come on, man. Come on.
I got to go and show them. So when I go to Mecca, I got to go there and show them that I'm trying to be one of them. Hell no. I go there with my bow tie on. Well, what does the bow tie mean? Mean I grew up in hell. I grew up in America. My natural dress is a robe, but I don't speak the language of a stranger. My people are in hell, and I'm in hell with them. And I gotta speak the language that they understand. I come to them all robed up and duded up. They say, who the hell is this coming here? So I come to them looking like their brother. Oh, well, he got a suit on. Damn, that's a nice suit. He got on a nice pair of shoes, too, boy. Nigga sharp. It's not what I got on. It's what I got in. But if what I got on attracts you to what I got in, then I'll use that to attract you to what I got in. Brother, the Quran is a good book. Can you imagine them Arabs in the desert, never seen water? Ain't nothing green over there in Arabia.
Teach, minister, teach.
Except the grass that they grow and put water there. But that's desert, brother. Can you imagine the prophet telling them, if you accept Allah, you live in gardens wherein rivers flow? Well, hell, a man is living in the desert.
Come on, man.
They ain't seen nothing green.
Yeah, yeah.
I stayed in the Middle East for 3 months. And I mean, the mountains are stone. You drive for miles. It's beautiful, you know, in its beauty. But you don't see no green.
That's right.
I went to the Emirates. Same thing. I got to Pakistan. In Karachi. Same thing. But when I got up north to Islamabad, I saw green again. Green on the trees. And it did something to me to see green. Well, look, imagine what an Arab feel like if the prophet offered him a garden wherein rivers flow and trees bearing all kind of fruit. That's paradise to a man living in a desert. Well, you know what's paradise to a black man living in America? You can't offer me no garden wherein a river flow. Offer me money, good homes, and friendship in all walk of life. I may listen to you. Because in this world, if you ain't got no money, you can't make it. In this world, if you don't have friendship in all walk of life, you're a loner, and that's what you are. You're a lonely brother. You're turned out of your own house, your own blood brothers and sisters. You don't find affinity and closeness there. So when you join the gang, at last, you found somebody to love you. Somebody who will throw down with you and for you. You find protection in the gang. And that's why the brothers are in the gangs and not in the home. They don't go to school. They don't like the church because the school, the church, and the home have failed to give them the love and the sense of community and family that every human being needs. They found it in the gang. But now that you found it in the gang, let's take it up. Let's find it now in the brotherhood of all of us. Not the blue and the red, the Crips and the Bloods, the Baptists and the Methodists and the Muslims. No. We gotta find this brotherhood now that extends to all the members of our family. And brother, when you see your brother and see God in your brother and respect God in your brother, you start producing the best in him. Believe me, brothers, every man out here that I'm looking at is my superior in some respect.
That's right, Brother Minister.
And so even though you came to hear me and you may admire me, I too admire each one of you.
That's right.
And do you know, when you tell me, I'm honored to meet you, Brother Farrakhan, you will hear me say, brother, I am the one honored to meet you.
That's right.
And you may walk away and say, ain't that something? I said I was honored to meet him. And he said he was honored to meet me.
Wrong, Minister.
I ain't nobody. Wrong.
Wrong.
I know who I'm shaking hands with when I shake hands with you. You see, brother, you have never been before. And somebody like you will never, ever be again. Just like there are no two raindrops alike, no two snowflakes alike, no two blades of grass alike, there are no two human beings alike. This is your moment in the sun and mine. So when I meet you, I'm meeting somebody that never was and somebody that will never be again. I'm meeting a unique person one that is matchless. So when I hug you, brother,
Listen.
God, I'm hugging God in you.
Listen.
And when I see your talent, I see God operating through you. When I see Michael Jordan, I see God operating with a basketball. But I know if he can operate with a basketball, he can operate on a higher level. When I see, what's that brother with the Dallas Cowboys? Emmett Smith. When I see him moving, I say, whoa, look at brother. Look at him. He's poetry in motion. When I saw Moon drop back and then come up in the pocket and fire, I said, look at him work. When I see Michael Jackson perform, I said, Lord, he's the consummate performer. God is working in him. But now, brother, I want to see God come higher in the brothers. Not just in sport, not just in music, but in scholarship, in business, in aviation, in all fields of human endeavor. You got the power to master everything. You are a part of God.
That's right.
So tonight, when you leave, I want you, before we go, after we say prayer, listen, brothers, don't leave now. I want you to shake the hand of the brother sitting next to you. Take a minute, and the brother around you. I want you to hold your brother's hand after prayer, and I want you to embrace it. We ain't sissies. And even if you're a little bit, just a little bit. I want you to embrace your brother. And look, brothers, no matter what our fault may be,
Go ahead, Minister. Go ahead.
God will take us out of every evil that we're in.
That's right.
And make us pleasing in his sight. So we're not putting our brother down who got one fault or another, because ain't none of us in here holy, starting with myself. And remember this, brothers, no matter how great any individual is, only God is worthy of worship. There are men that stood before me. Wait a minute, brothers. I'm almost finished. But if you leave now, you're going to miss something very important. Could you give me just 2 more minutes, brothers? Please? 2 minutes. Thank you. But listen, brothers, I want you to take this pledge with me. When I say I and your name, I want you to just say your name and repeat these words after me. I say your name. Pledge from this day forward to strive to love my brother as I love myself. I say your name. Pledge to strive to improve myself spiritually, mentally, morally, economically, socially, and politically for the benefit of myself and my family. I say your name. Pledge to build schools, hospitals, farms, houses, factories, and enter into international trade and commerce for the benefit of myself, my family, and my people. I say your name. Pledge that from this day forward, I will never use the gun to shed the blood of my brother or sister except in self-defense. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Now, brothers, if you will bow your heads, I'm going to say this prayer in Arabic and in English. And then after prayer, I just want you to just shake your brother's hand and embrace your brother.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to practice when you see your brother, offer him peace. Don't say hi, yo, what's happening? If you can't say it in Arabic, Assalamu alaikum, say, peace, brother. I want you to have peace,
Yes, sir.
and you wish your brother peace and embrace. Before long, our communities will be an oasis in the desert. Let us pray. قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Guide us on the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. O Allah, we thank you for this evening in Memphis. We thank you for each and every one of our brothers who are here in this convention center. We pray that your word will touch our hearts and make a change in our hearts. For you have said, you will never change the condition of a people until we change in our hearts. Bring this change about, O Allah, and make us to go forward from this place knowing that we are brothers and that our origin is in you and that your nature is our nature and we are created to be upright. Help us to grow in uprightness that our brotherhood may be strengthened by our love for one another. O Allah, we ask this of you in the name of your servant Muhammad and in the name of all of your worthy prophets. Ameen. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Thank you, brothers, for a beautiful evening. May Allah bless you. Love you all.
Brothers, let's give a Memphis, Tennessee round of applause to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Brothers, let's hear it. Memphis, give a round of applause to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, the champion of the liberation struggle of our people in America and around the world. Welcome him to Memphis, brothers. Minister Louis Farrakhan, the leader of the Nation of Islam. We remind you tonight, brothers, as you depart to meet and greet your brothers after the example of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. And we remind you that tonight's tape has been high-speed duplicated and will be available for your purchase in the lobby as you depart the building. This message will also be available on tomorrow. If you can't get a copy, get your copy of the tape tomorrow at 837 Vance Avenue, right near Baptist Hospital, near the intersection of East Street and Vance Avenue. For more information, call 523-2560. That's 523-2560. For books by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, tapes and posters and much, much more, come by the mosque and receive your free gift for visiting Mosque number 55 in Memphis. Minister Farrakhan thanks you for your attendance and for your time and invites you to visit the vending tables, brothers, in the lobby as you exit the building here this evening. We also remind you that Minister Anthony Muhammad is coordinating the activities of the Muslims in Memphis and northern Mississippi. For more information on how you can help Minister Farrakhan, call Minister Anthony Muhammad at 523-2560. Also visit Mosque number 55 tonight for a little after lecture refreshment. There have been some fine Muslim cuisine prepared for you at 837 Vance Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee. We remind you to stop and pick up your copy of tonight's tape, which has been high-speed duplicated and is available.